Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, there's a ram-packed house tonight with amazing guests, special presentations, and John perhaps dancing on camera. It is...
oh my God, no, please spare us that if you would.
I got Brad already shaking his head. Blaine's coming to make sure that he curbs me, so, you know that I'm,
You need Blaine to keep you in control. Blaine, you
I
hear
need
that?
Blaine to keep me in control.
I don't even know how I stay in control. So
What happened, sir?
I said I don't even know how I stay in control. I don't want to keep somebody else in control.
Oh, dude, you're just beasting, man. That's why. It's the mandolin. It keeps you in control, dude. It's great.
Must be it.
It is the SteemSavvy Sunday session. And this is exciting because we've got Captain Bob, a.k.a. the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brad. He is here. This is a guy, this is one of the first Steemians I ever met offline, like in real life. He's a real live dude. And he drove all the way to my hometown to come and meet just me. Right, Brad? That was it.
As opposed to a make-believe dude? Is that what you're saying?
Just all the way to me. No, I'm just joking. Captain Bob is here. So this is really cool because Captain Bob, I'm not going to put you in a bubble here, but let's just say that you represent a very vibrant community on the blockchain, and that would be the D-Daily, the legend that is D-Daily.
Right.
And it's cool. I mean, a little backstory of, I met Brad at, that's his name too. His name's not Bob, which is a story in itself, Captain Bob, but he's also Brad. Anyways, so I met him in Toronto, but I kind of, got following him on Steem and stuff. And he's part of D-Daily, which is this community of video creators and content creators on Steem, and watching what they do and a lot of the tips and tricks that Brad has given over the past couple of months has allowed me to actually get lighting in my home studio. And I also have a gimbal, thanks to Captain Bob and the D-Daily guys. So this is the thing. You come to Steem, you get to learn all these really cool things about video creation. And so it's good to have you, man. Welcome to a Sunday session.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Cool. And Rich is here, and Jen is here, Scott is here, Blaine's here, and there's a whole bunch of people. And there you go, and Nosey's on there. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it on Facebook. Thanks, buddy. Lots of stuff going on Steem. Steem engine news. They're kind of trolling. Did anybody see the trolling they've been doing?
No, what?
They called their new platform the NDSCOT. Ned Scott. That's the name of their new thing that they're doing. Basically, it's a slap at SMTs. Steem and Inc. has been saying for a year and a half now that SMTs are coming. They haven't come. This is the big reason why Steem is so popular and why the potential for Steem is so great, because the ability to create, so let's put this into context here. This is the power of SMTs. Let's say that our good friend Scott down there, the sports nerd, he starts saying, you know what, I'm going to create a token. I'm going to put this token on an SMT, and people that come to my show or come to my blog and engage with me, they can be rewarded with this token. I can incentivize my community, kind of what we're trying to do with the Savvy token. So SMTs were this fantastic idea. Everybody was really excited about it. Steem Inc. hasn't done anything about it. They say they do these things, but SMTs have kind of been sitting there, which sucks. So Steem Engine, this company of guys that run Steam Monsters, Splinterlands, and a few other programs, put this thing together called Steem Engine. And basically what it is smart contracts where it's not on the blockchain, but it's pegged to the blockchain. So you can actually set up your own token, like we did with SteemSavvy, and you can get rewarded with this stuff. So someone like Scott could say, I'm going to do the Sports Nerds token and start rewarding people with real crypto that is pegged to the Steem token. So it's worth real money. It's not like, it's funny. I mean, me and Rich were trading SteemSavvy tokens back and forth. All of a sudden, I have $70 worth of SteemSavvy tokens. I don't know how that happened, but we created magical money. And everybody's just kind of smiling.
Don't start dancing. Don't do it.
I know. I'm waiting for it. I'm like,
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. No, it's really exciting. I mean, this is kind of the potential that is Steem, and SMTs were this wonderful thing. They even wrote a white paper about it. Me and Rich read this thing in January, December 2017, and we were really hooked on it. The idea was great, but they kind of like just pooped the bed, basically. Like, I don't know what they've done with it, but Steem Engine said, whatever, we're going to run with it. So that was the big news. I don't know, like, have most of you guys have Savvy tokens? I mean, like, do you see the potential for it? Are you excited about things like that? I'd love to hear from you because Brad's here. I'm so blown away, man. Like, I'm happy.
Well, I knew you guys had a token. I don't think I have any SteemSavvy tokens because I haven't really messed around with Steem Engine much. But I know the D-Daily guys have a token as well, and they're playing around with it. I think everybody's still trying to figure out a little bit about how do we leverage it, how do we use it, how does it become useful and you know, give us some ability to be unique and reward people a little differently maybe than Steem, not be bound to their rules. And I think that was the magic that SMTs brought, was that you could kind of do what you wanted to with it, sort of make your own rules and kind of parse it out and reward people in different ways rather than be bound to the things that, you know, that Steem had done. But I thought it was hilarious. I was reading Agro's post about it, and it was oh yeah, it was great. So it's fun stuff. I love seeing the community come together and just like take the ball and run with it, drive forward with everything, and make it happen. You know, that's really exciting. It's fun to see.
Nice. What do you think? All right. Scott, you interested in getting some tokens, buddy?
I don't even know if I have tokens or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what's cool is that we can create tokens. Like, I'm not even talking about SteemSavvy. SteemSavvy, we've already got our tokens. So I gotta write this down. Rich, can you remind me to send Brad some Savvy tokens?
I will. We'll take care of you there, Captain.
Yeah, Captain.
We're gonna hook you up, man. We're gonna hook you up. We got
All
your back, man. We got your back.
All right.
Dude, they're actually worth something, which is mind blowing to me. Like, it actually has market value, which is like just beyond, like, I can't believe it.
It's very cool. Are you
The
listening?
first question will be, what's it going to cost me?
Well, for SteemSavvy tokens, you'll get them by taking part in tonight, but you get the SBI as well. So everybody here obviously gets SBI, and anybody that's in the audience. But Savvy tokens, I can issue them. Me and Rich decided to keep it so the supply is low. There's 1 million of them. That's it.
Yeah.
But there's only, so far, we've issued 1,200, I think, right now.
Right. What I'm saying is, if I wanted to create my own token, my own sports nerd token,
right?
What would that cost me?
It's 100 engine tokens. So engine is pegged to Steem. So 100 Steem tokens. So it's $40, whatever, $37 US or something, whatever Steem is trading at right now.
Uh-huh.
So you'd be able to do it, and then you could set up your own token, and then you incentivize your community. Come to our show, you can give them out. But like Captain Bob said, you can't do, like, it's got to be a little creative. And I think what a lot of people are waiting for is how can we get that. Like, this is why I love when Blaine's here, so it can kind of give him ideas and kind of, you know, JavaScript. That's me, like, trying to hint at him to, you know, to think of ways to implement things. But you got to be creative. You got to be creative with how you issue them. And me and Rich can go into Steem Engine and issue them to people. That's no problem. But imagine if it starts getting some traction and you have 20,000 people trying to claim these, buy them, and sell them all the time. Now it's like, okay, you got to have a system that can get them out there. And so the Steem Engine platform is fantastic for this, and it allows us to see the potential of SMTs without waiting for Steem and Ink. So that's the big thing.
I have a question though, John. How long is it before you're going to have the SteemSavvy token listed on Freedom X?
That's a good question. I would love to talk to IJ and those guys for the hookup. The hookup. I mean, I'd love to have it on Freedom X. I just, you know, I mean, it's just it gets, you know, I got to get traction on it. So I would love to get it on Freedom X because Freedom X is doing big things too. They're I think they had Ontology was listed with them or something like that. And IJ just put this in team chat there at Freedom X. there's a huge amount of investment going into ontology, and that's huge. I mean, that trickles down, right? And I'm not saying every coin in the world is like, is going to be worth anything. Who knows? The Savvy token might be worth half a penny. Who knows? It's just, what can you do with these things is, I think,
yeah, I think that's the thing with all of these tokens, is they're useless unless whatever it is you do brings value. And I think that's the power SteemSavvy has, is you're bringing value by taking care of new people and fostering, development and onboarding. I think that's where your value is right now. But I think the challenge will be, how do you develop that value long term, and how do you continue to grow the value that you're bringing to the table?
Right.
But yeah, that's the kicker right there. Everybody can create a token, but it's going to be useless unless somebody is actually using it and find some value in it.
Right.
And it's not unlike any piece of paper, right? I mean, how do you find value? Well, you find value in someone's willing to give you something else for it. That's why I think trading it has power.
Mm-hmm. There's like ActiFits on there too, right? ActiFit is I think it's on Freedom X as well. And I mean, there's a real world use case for something like this. This is what excites me about Steem, and why me and Rich saw this stuff in December of 2017 and said, you know what, this is potentially the future, because just like you said, it's anybody can create these tokens. Now it's like, let's get the entrepreneurs behind it. And this is a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk also tonight. So this is great. This is a great conversation. We're excited. It's what can entrepreneurs do with this stuff now? Here's the token. Here's the technology. Here it is. What can you do with it? And I mean, guys like Blaine are I think a little unique, because he's a developer, but he's also an entrepreneur and a marketer too. So he's got the best of both worlds. But a lot of these guys, the coders and the developers, are not necessarily marketing centric. So they'll come up with the code like, here it is. Now entrepreneurs have to take it and say, okay, this is what we can do with it. This is how we can add value to it. So projects like ActiFit is huge. I mean, this is trading on exchanges for 2 cents a piece now. Real value. I don't know about you guys, but ActiFit's on my phone, and I use the app every single day. There's real world value to that. I'm actually rewarded not only in ActiFit tokens, but also Savvy tokens. Yeah, I'm trying to segue. Steem tokens, right? So this is powerful to me, because it's like I can see the best of both worlds with it. So I'm excited for the potential of it, but I agree with you. I think if anybody can create this, we need to keep moving with it and develop stuff.
Well, and I think that we've heard the complaints from apps like Apix is one of them. You probably remember those guys, and they were pretty hot and heavy at SteamFest 3, and they've been making their ways, and they've been really waiting for SMTs from Steem Inc. for some time now, and that's like their big thing. Of course, there's a ton of rumor out there about, hey, they're going to do their own thing or whatever, but at least there's an opportunity for them now to maybe tie something into Steam Engine and make it work. But who knows if that'll go? But I look at the folks like Partico. I think that's a perfect way to sort of implement those Partico points into being their own token, which surely that's part of the plan. I don't know.
Oh, they've got to be. They are. I mean,
I'd imagine.
Yeah. So don't just spend all your Particle points. Anybody watching that, you might want to hold on to a few of those.
Yeah.
Nugget. So yeah. But this is kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I guess it's not really a secret. Me and Blaine are working on a project that's not blockchain related, but it's a little shameless self-promotion for Blaine and I's project. But it's going to feature integration with crypto payments, and a big part of that will have Steem as a part of, so not only will we train people on Steem and we're going to be bringing 200,000 people potentially into the blockchain. So there's 200,000 people that are going to get taught about Steem, but not only that, they'll be able to buy products with Steem and buy real parts of this website with Steem. Not only Steem, obviously there's more crypto, but last week, a really good friend of a lot of people's here, like Jen knows him, Scott knows him, Blaine knows him, Barry Langdon, a good friend of ours from years and years and years ago, actually implemented Steem and a lot of other cryptos into his online advertising platform. Now, this may not seem like big news because it's just like, it's, you know, who is this guy? And, you know, it's not a massively huge site, but it's got like 50,000 members, I'm pretty sure, 40,000, 30,000, something like that. Like a couple of years ago, this was one of the most active advertising platforms in the industry. And then he kind of was sick to death of a lot of the SteemSavvy propaganda we've been spreading. And he was just like, okay, I got to check this out. So he joined the blockchain, he got into it, and then he was just like, he was hooked. He's like, I have this RPG game. I'm going to put Steem, I'm going to perhaps try to figure out a way to implement Steem into it. I got this advertising platform. I'm going to integrate Steem into it. So this is, LL Farms is putting this question out the past couple of weeks, and she said, what's your vision for Steem? That was kind of her question. And it was a lot of people gave feedback. This is my vision. I'm pretty sure it's Rich's vision. I'm pretty sure Jen and Scott and Blaine and all you guys kind of have the same. We all come from this affiliate marketing, internet marketing background where it's just like, here it's like silver platter. Here's crypto. Here is Steem. This is opportunity. Here it is. Let's run with it. Just like you were saying, Brad, where, you know, anybody can create this stuff. Entrepreneurs have to actually put the value out there. So more companies are starting to look at Steem as a way to buy and sell their products. Here, you got some, I bought it yesterday. I went to his website and it was 20 Steem. And I bought a bunch of advertising from him for 20 Steem. And it went through coin payments. Perfect. Flawless transaction. It was great. Seamless. And we didn't use PayPal. Yay. So to me, this is my vision. This is, like, as an entrepreneur, I see Steem as it's this great thing to build on. It's this great thing to learn. It's this great thing to leverage. But man, imagine if we get entrepreneurs on here that start buying and selling this stuff and requiring it and asking for it and recommending people to buy with it. That's powerful stuff. And, you know, is it going to be mass adopted in a week or less? No. But the potential is there, and the actual use case for this stuff is there. So I'm excited for that. I'll shut up now as other people talk. I talk too much during these things.
I'm excited too because I see a huge potential of it becoming more mainstream. Because you know, some people have heard of it, some people haven't. You know, they definitely heard it with both of us talking about it. But being able to use it as a normal type of currency, I think that'll go really far, especially if all the affiliate marketing people and all the other entrepreneurs come into it. That excites me a lot. I think that would be huge. And they could use it to buy things and actually purchase advertising, and it's just going to be huge. So I'm kind of reiterating what you're saying, but I'm pretty excited about it. So
that's
going
good.
to be awesome. So.
On a technical side, Mr. Blaine Jones, how are you enjoying the integration with coin payments and everything? Is it working out, like with Steem? And I know the answer to this because you sent me a note today when I was driving going blank, 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 blank. So I'll just, let you run with it.
I mean, so for coin payments, actually, so I was kind of afraid of it for a while because it was, I wasn't sure how complicated it would be to integrate it. But when I did get into it and set it up, it took me like 30 minutes, realistically. I got it all completely integrated, set up, done in the site with ease.
Love it.
That's
amazing.
Great.
I can't believe how simple it was. It was way easier than Stripe. So.
Oh.
Really?
You're a machine, Blaine. You're a machine.
Yeah, I mean the only downfall right now with crypto or coin payments or anything like that is subscriptions. You can't do subscriptions currently.
Right.
So trying to figure out a way to do that would make life super easy.
Well, see, I don't know if you can ever do it like automatically unless someone like agrees to it with it. I don't know, but I know someone who does do this. One of the companies I bought actually this stuff from, this beautiful, wonderful silver dollar Steem 90-ounce coin, they had it set up where they gave you a check mark, and if you if you wanted to, they would send you an update in 30 days, and that the email would go out to you, okay, you're due. And, One Love DTube does it as well, where they give you the 30 days, and if you want to subscribe, they'll send you the notice saying, okay, it's time to re-up. Obviously, that's not automatic, and that would be great, because then it would make life super easy. But for now, I mean, I guess it'd have to be done manually, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so right now with like coin payments, you can link accounts, but I'm not sure how like the methodology for having somebody subscribe and automatically withdrawing funds from their account.
Right.
Because then you get people that forget they did that, so forth and so on. And you want to try and prevent people from losing their money.
Good point. That's always a good thing.
So.
Cool. Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of what's happening is we're seeing more of these entrepreneurs kind of coming on board, and I know myself, I'm excited because I had it in the Telegram group, the off-chain business that we're having. Someone mentioned today, they're like really, really excited about all the changes that you guys are doing. Steem scares me though. And this, again, it's because Steem is always going to be looked at as a crypto. And for better or worse, it's looked at as a crypto. And when you tell someone crypto, they start thinking BitConnect. They start thinking scams. They start thinking this stuff that's going to take away their money. They don't look at it as a content creation platform. I mean, again, Brad, I don't want to put you on Front Street here, but this is something you've done since you joined. You've used it really as content creation. This is your place where you can express yourself. You can put stuff out there. And right. The crypto's kind of like a bonus, right? I don't know, but I don't know if maybe you can speak on it a little. I don't look at it as you're creating this stuff to go, oh, I'm going to get paid $1 million. It's like, I'm doing this because I love it. And here's a bonus. Crap, I get paid for this too.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I think all of us, or a lot of us who are content creators, have been creating content on other platforms, the other socials, and not getting anything for it. And so my thought process personally was just that, hey, I'm already creating content. Why don't I put it over here and actually get something for it? And I think that's what a lot of people see when they're writing and doing all these things. Mm-hmm. I personally am not trying to make a living doing it, particularly at 35-cent price or whatever. But
I can relate to you there, buddy. Trust me.
Yeah. But, the issue, I think, was an interesting conversation that kind of came up from one of the presenters at Austin, was this guy who was working for Liberty Insurance. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the commercials, Liberty Insurance commercials that are really popular right now. And what he's working towards is, in essence, an insurance platform that he's writing. He's working with an underwriter basically to develop an insurance that in essence reminded me of what we in the US are used to hearing about FDIC insurance, which is some sort of a guarantee that someone's not going to run away with my money. And if they do, that it's underwritten by, an insurance company to give you some guarantee that at least whatever you had in your account can be replaced at fair market value by this insurance company, which I thought was kind of an interesting product to sort of talk about and present. Obviously he's got to find underwriting and financial backing for all of that, but it's an interesting concept to think about, that one of the things that people like about the US dollar, and the reason that many of them like to go put their money into a bank, which is a traditional institution, is because they see the magic FDIC insured
right.
thing that says, hey, at least up to $250,000 or whatever it is, $200,000 or $250,000, my cash is insured. So if something happens to this bank, I know I still have my money, at least to that point.
Right.
If there was something like that in cryptocurrency, if everybody in Steem knew that if something happens to Steem and Inc., at least my $3,000 worth of Steem is safe, would that make them more comfortable? Maybe a little bit.
Right.
Interesting thought. I don't know.
Rich itching. I knew he was. I knew he was going to say. He was waiting. Sorry, Rich. This is your thing, man.
Yeah, Binance did that. They got a policy, an underwriter to back their exchange. So if they're hacked or something, assets are protected. I think it's up to $1 billion total. And then Bitfinex, which the one that just got in trouble for the $850 million tethered thing.
They're in doo-doo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they only had a $500 million policy, so well, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, there is some things being developed, like you're saying, and I think it will help because people want assurances,
That's it. Yeah.
And I mean, are you going to put your retirement fund into something and go, yeah, well, it could all disappear tomorrow, when somebody on the dark net, hacks my key. No, I don't think so. But once they start building in these assurances, these protections, et cetera, I think that's when we're going to start seeing more adoption.
I'm just responding to someone on Facebook. I'll ask this question. This is interesting because I know Rich has said this countless times, and I'm thinking Brad's kind of along the same wavelength too. Does this take away from the decentralization that people enjoy? Now, let me put it as I am not Mr. Anti-Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm not Mr. Anti-corporation. I'm a capitalist. I don't think all the companies in the world are evil. I think there's companies that make really bad mistakes. But I'm not one of those guys that sits on the board of
PayPal.
I think everything needs to be. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I can tell you stories about PayPal. Trust us. Yes, we've heard them all.
Okay. We won't go to PayPal.
You want John to go off on a rant? Just mention the word
Yeah.
PayPal.
Oh! Brad has heard my horror story. Okay.
I know the story.
I've
That's why I
heard it
get
a couple of times. So.
$17,000 worth. I know. Yes.
Salt the wound, right?
Yes.
Yeah, ruining lives, but as PayPal would. So
that's why he's living in his mother-in-law's basement right now. But that's okay.
I'm loving it, man.
Oh, Scott, you.
Dude, I'm loving my office, man. I'm in happy land right now. I'm away from all the craziness upstairs. Everything's quiet down here. It's great.
That's because you don't have the $3 upstairs.
Dude,
Oh my gosh.
You have no idea. It's on another level.
He's got 3 toddlers in the house, and he's got an infant going to be there any day now. So he's going to have 4 kids.
I plan my life perfectly. 42 years old, having kids.
Yes,
let's do it. Why not? He'll graduate. I'll be going into my old age home.
Into your nursing home with that.
I'll almost be as old as you, Scott.
I know, right? Yes.
But yeah, so I'm not one of those guys that's anti-big business. I'm really not, and I'm not one of those guys that's anti-Facebook because I love Facebook.
Facebook and Twitter are for my 2 favorites. I
love it. I love social media. I get a kick out of it. But blockchain and decentralization fascinates me because it's personal responsibility. What I'm doing, I redid a bunch of videos this morning for SteemSavvy, and one of it is the introduction to Steem Ninja, telling people, hey, you want to get your account set up, use Steem Ninja because it's stupid simple. But then I spent a good 5 minutes in the video going, you have to save your passwords. Do I mention that you have to save your passwords? By the 5th time, 6th time I'm saying save your passwords, I'm hoping that the message is getting across. So while I see the massive peace of mind having the FDIC stamp on something is, I'm going to ask you guys, does that take away from the DNA that is decentralization? I'm not for or against. I'm just throwing it out there just so someone at Steem doesn't go, oh, you're pro Facebook. It's not that. I'm asking the question. So does it take away from the decentralization DNA that is crypto and blockchain?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think currently, and this is speaking in America, the average American is tired of big government, big business, big bank.
Right.
Which is what is going to push more and more people continuously and consistently towards things like cryptocurrencies or other methods of doing that.
Alternative money sources or alternative coins.
Yeah, something that's not a bank, right? So we've already started doing like peer-to-peer lending, and it's becoming more and more better. And people are looking at that as more of a viable option versus going to a bank and getting a loan. So as this continues to grow, it's not going to be so much a distractor or a push away. But as it is now, it's going to be the same thing as PayPal was when it first started. Oh, it's online. Your money's going to get stolen.
Right.
It'll work out. It'll just take time. Just how much is the real question. How long?
I agree with that. Thoughts?
I think volatility is another issue as well, on top of just, safety, but volatility. And, from a business perspective, I think any merchant who's selling a product and wants to receive cryptocurrency as a payment, they've got to think about inventory costs and replacement of inventory and all those things. And I think the sheer volatility of cryptocurrency is a big scare for most businesses, or a lot of business, particularly small businesses, who are the type of people who I think could be the first entry into this. They're the ones that are probably most susceptible to the volatility. But I think that'll come over time. I think with stability, as you get acceptance and people who aren't as fearful, then I think that garners more stability over time too. So I actually agree with Blaine. I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, because, going back to when Blaine was talking about with the PayPal stuff, I mean, I come from that school when PayPal was giving out $5 referral bonuses to people that you refer to PayPal. I mean, that's how long I was with PayPal, literally day one. And when they first came out, people were terrified of it. I mean, putting money online, back then it was, you literally, if you wanted to buy something online, you had to send someone a check. Like that's
Yeah. And what's interesting about that, John, is what was the thing that made everybody suddenly start to feel comfortable? It was eBay, right? eBay started saying, this is our preferred method of payment. And then suddenly everybody was like, well,
Good point.
eBay says this is what we should do. So I think you get back to that whole sort of generally accepted, what becomes generally accepted sort of ushers in the comfort factor with this. I think that might be one of those things too, is that maybe someone comes along and says, hey, we're comfortable using Steem, or pick your crypto of the flavor of the day.
So like Amazon comes out and says, we're going to accept crypto. That's mass adoption on a big scale.
Yeah.
That offers, that gives the impression of stability as well. And then
absolutely. It's perception, right? We know it's how it's perceived.
Amazon's going to take it, or say if Microsoft is going to take it for their products, anybody else. I mean, especially Amazon would be the big one, of course, but that would give that perception. Hey, crypto is going to be stable, and it's an acceptable form of currency that you can use to trade back and forth to purchase goods and services.
Right.
And then that'll. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's a form of normalization, because the more it's used, the more normal it is, the more comfortable people will be. So
it would give cryptocurrency a, what's the word I'm looking for? A perception of it's legitimate, and it's not just some fly by night thing. And and it's cryptocurrency is in its infancy stages at this point. So there's going to be skeptics. There's going to be uneasiness. There's going to be confusion because people don't know how it works. Counting myself, because I'm still a newbie at it as well. We're all kind of new to it. So we're just going along as we doing what we best we can at this point and hoping for the best. But I think if some big company comes along and starts accepting that as one of its accepted forms of currency, that will go a long way to stabilizing and legitimizing cryptocurrency. That's what that would be the deal maker right there for everybody.
And I think the interesting thing is it's also a form of change. And as humans, we're not very comfortable with change, whether it's a good change or bad change. So that whole thing is kind of falls into the acceptance, the normalizing Steem or any kind of crypto, because if they're not comfortable with the change, but then they start seeing companies come together and saying, hey, this is a form of payment we want to use, or programs like SteemSavvy that makes it easier to learn on how to use it, I think that'll play a big factor.
Well, not only that, but another benefit of that is once one of these big companies starts accepting it, the value of cryptocurrency is going to go through the roof as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree.
Well, that's the big thing, right? I mean, there's 21 million Bitcoins. That's it. You
Yeah.
can't mine anymore after it's done. Sure, you can fork it, but you see the debacles that happens when Bitcoin is forked. So getting back to this point, which I thought was really, really cool that you guys touched on. We say, okay, so Amazon, a big company, starts accepting it. It's almost overnight that it's accepted around the world. Like, people will just be curious about it. The Google searches will go up for how do I get Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. But what Brad said is huge. It's going to be the small companies that may have a lot more to lose or gain, but they might be the ones that will adopt this stuff a lot quicker than the bigger companies, because as a small entrepreneur, you have a lot more leeway. You can make mistakes and kind of recover. You can get off the beaten track. Like a company like Amazon that has, it's a public offered company. It's like they can't just they answer to the shareholders, so they can't just say, okay, Jeff Bezos can't go, hey, we're going to get into Dogecoin today. Like, it won't happen, with someone like Amazon. But small, and this is why this is really important, this talk, because there's a lot of people watching on Facebook now, and a lot of them come from this industry that a lot of us we'll introduce Brad to the industry someday. Trust me, he'll love it.
Hey, I'm an Amazon affiliate.
Okay, so you're perfect. Okay, so but the affiliate marketing stuff, it's like I said, it's on this silver platter for opportunity. It's like everybody has been hurt by the PayPal decisions to basically slap affiliate marketers. Everybody has been hurt. Entire industries are having to revisit how they do things. And I'm sitting here, and I was talking to an associate of mine the other day. We were having this call, and I was telling him that, like, crypto is just sitting here, just like, here it is, this perfect freaking, you can't do chargebacks, you can't have worry about banks shutting you down. It's this amazing, here it is. Why haven't affiliate marketers? Because they're the ones who are supposed to be okay with change. They're the ones that are supposed to be able to adapt. Those are the ones who usually take when PayPal was around, when they first started, like, they started accepting PayPal before everybody else did. How do we attract more people like that? Because I see it, it's just not Amazon news.
Well, and I think they have to start somewhere. So once small businesses start adapting this, and they start being the model and showing how it can work, then there's a chain reaction there where the bigger companies will start coming on board. And of course, the top of the food chain is Bezos and Amazon. That's the top of the food chain right there. Yeah. Or if you want to go, with Apple or Google or people like that. But if the small businesses take on this as part of their accepted currency, the more and more that happens, the more it's going to open eyes in the bigger businesses, and they're going to jump on the bandwagon as well. And that's when it will stabilize. We as entrepreneurs or as affiliate marketers like we used to be, we have to find a way to gather as much of these coins. And like I've told John, the one with the most steam at the end wins. I mean, gather up as much steam as you possibly can. So when it does stabilize and it does get it's $2, $3, $4, $5 a piece, that's where your buying power will come into play at that point.
And in fairness, there have been a couple of pretty good sized companies that are accepting cryptocurrency, right? Are you guys familiar with Newegg?
Yeah, Newegg does. Yep.
Okay. Newegg accepts Bitcoin as a form of payment. So it's not like there aren't companies that are doing it. I just don't think it's been just sort of generally accepted. Maybe back to Blaine's point, there's that comfort factor. So some of these companies are accepting it. Newegg is kind of like a mini Amazon in a lot of ways. They sell more than just computer parts these days. They're starting to branch out. I don't think that I think it's going to be hard, I'll just say, to compete with Amazon for anybody, for that matter. But
Right.
It's an example, though, of a company that is accepting cryptocurrency for general payment, and a pretty reputable company, at least in the computer parts world. And it's still yet, it hasn't been kind of one of those motivating factors for a lot of people. So I think it's that comfort level still. That's a big part of it. Maybe that's the case for the affiliate marketers too. Maybe they need to feel comfortable with it as a method of transaction. Is Is there something that is keeping them from going down that road? Is there a barrier to entry cost-wise? Is it development of software programs, systems? Is that what it is, you think?
Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I personally think it's unsure of the market, unsure of where it's going, the viability in the future of cryptocurrency, because again, it is still brand new, and it's not something that is, I mean, there's a lot of us getting into it, but it doesn't really have, it's not stable at this point because it's always fluctuating. The price, I mean, Bitcoin fluctuates just as much as Steem fluctuates. So, you know, I think it's the instability of the market itself that they're unsure of. They're just holding out and waiting to see what this thing is going to do.
My biggest issue, I think, is ease of use. For the everyday person, and it's funny because you know, when me and Rich got started in this, we looked at, you know, every single crypto you can imagine, and there was all these wallets that promised to be ease of use, and it was going to be ease of use, ease of use, ease of use. That was the recurring theme on their white papers. I have yet to find one other than Steem, because even though Steem has a tougher onboarding, like it's, you know, unless you go to Steem Ninja, you know, it might take a week or two or even a month to get your account. But I don't, hey, Brad, I'm going to send you some Steem. What's your wallet address? And here's this big, huge, massive encryption code that's a wallet address that I will never remember. And, you know, it's just, it's not easy to use. But, hey, Brad, I want to send you Steem. What's your username, Captain Bob? That's a lot easier. So I think Steem wins on something like that. It's just, it's got to be easy to use. And I think a lot of it's going to be applications. Partico, for example. Partico is positioned to like knock it out of the park. Like they're just brilliant. Like Sita is just like, he's like the next, you know, take your pick, Wonder Kid, you know? I mean, he's just
Steve Jobs.
No, he's more of a coder, right? Steve Jobs is more of the mark. He's the Steve Woz. He's the Woz, right? Like, so Partico is positioned perfectly because it's easy to use. It's stupid simple. And if I want to send, you know, they don't have the wallet feature yet, but if they do get it, I mean, imagine how powerful that would be. There's an application that's on the Android store. It's on the iOS store. You can download it right now. You don't need a computer science major to figure it out. It's in the palm of your hand. I've just paid for something. Here's the QR code. Boom, there, easy. I want to send you some Steem. Okay, boom, there's your username, sent. That's what's needed in my opinion. So you have these double whammies. You have what you just said about the unknown, right? The big unknown. Like, where's this going to go? Like, is Steem going to be 35 cents or is it going to get back up to $3 or $4? Who knows? We don't know. Where's Bitcoin going? Back to 220K or is it going to stay around 5K? Who knows? That combined with the fact that you need a computer major science degree to figure out this stuff. This is why SteemSavvy was born. It was born to dumb it down for like me that see the potential, but I don't want to go to college anymore, man. I'll just beg Blaine to do programming. Like, just, you know, please.
He's using you, Blaine.
I just want to see the mandolin, man.
But he likes it. That's the problem. He likes being used like this, so it's all good.
Dude, Blaine's knocking it out of the park with our project. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's the problem. And the problem is these double whammies where you don't know where this stuff is going, combined with the fact that people don't even know how to use it.
Right. I couldn't. You know what? I have not signed up for any cryptocurrency transfer. I can't use my crypto because I haven't signed up for anything yet. I don't have enough, so that's why I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to sign up for any kind of exchange. So I'm just going to hold out and let them collect as much Steem as I possibly can, and then when I'm ready to start using it, I'll sign up. So I haven't done that yet.
Nothing wrong with collecting Steem. I'm a fan.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. Richard's, yeah.
Just put his hand up. Let's go, Rich. Come on, man.
Well, I think
I mean,
you know, we can talk what we want to, but like South Korea, in the last 2 quarters, their usage numbers are up 64%. Their average investment is up by $2,000. You know, so we can say all we want to about people are hesitant, but only in the United States. North
Well,
America,
aren't you
for the
going to
most
Korea
part.
here not too far in the future, Rich?
Huh?
Aren't you going to Asia here pretty soon?
Yeah, Southeast Asia. I may actually try to plan a stopover in Seoul
Yeah.
on my way. But
You're
the
doing
biggest drawback that I see for things like Steem is the fact that 99.9% of it is in English. You're not going to get the Korean market unless you have have it in Korean.
Dude, there's an entire fork of Steem on the Korean.
I know, but you need more of it. You know, you need to be able to like SteemSavvy. If we were offering SteemSavvy in Korean,
oh heck yeah!
You know, things like that. I think
anybody want to learn Korean?
Huh?
No problem.
Well, I can find you somebody who'll translate it. It lives right, well, actually, right kind of like over there, but he works at the post office here in town.
It's Hangul is the native language.
Yeah.
But yes.
Because he's in there and he's like
says the Army veteran.
And he was gone to the DMZ and tried to like, you know, get at Kim Jong-il, you know, himself. Like, you know.
Oh no.
He was this close too. This close.
Oh my goodness.
Largest minefield in the world.
So yeah, I hear you, Rich. Like I totally understand that. And I think language is a big barrier. But it like I first of all, for me personally, for SteemSavvy, just speaking on SteemSavvy, I don't know about the rest of the blockchain. I'm a one-man show funding this stuff, right? I mean, this is the problem. I don't have Steem Inc. beating down the doors going, hey, Mr. Delegation's here to save the day. Like, you know, it's not happening, you know? So it's like, to get this stuff translated, it's like, okay, that costs money. Where do we get the delegation from? And I'm the last person that's going to be knocking on Steem Inc.'s door. I don't believe in that. I believe in the community. I believe in SteemSavvy's community much more than any. Yeah.
Get the point. Yes, understood.
So it's great. I'd love to have translated videos and translated lessons, but holy moly, donut shop. I mean, it's just that's a big task.
The man hours involved are just amazing in themselves.
Just do subtitles.
That's what I was just thinking too, because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's not really that difficult to do.
So go do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Volunteered. I love it.
You just need somebody to make sure the subtitles actually say what you want them to.
I love it. We all volunteered.
It's
Blake
like
volunteered to put subtitles. Do it in Korean, do it in all, do it in 125 different languages. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's over 700 languages spoken by people in
Google Translate. Here you go. Let's do it. Google Translate.
Oh, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me.
Oh my God.
Listen, this has been fantastic. I'm going to shut down the recording. The live stream's still going, but I'm going to shut down the recording because the people on DTube get really, really upset with me when the thing is over an hour. So we've been about 45 minutes now. So I think it's
there he goes.
Thank you, Blaine. There you go. Killing me, man. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
Blaine just sent the translation to something in Korean to us. So thank you.
Oh, I'm gonna find it.
I accidentally sent it to Rich privately, and I was like, "Why does it? That's just weird." I had to click to send it to everybody.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
And here I thought you cared.
I'm not even going to try this. Anyways, I'm going to stop the recording. Everybody on DTube, thank you guys for coming by. Appreciate you. This is the SteemSavvy Sunday session. We're here each and every Sunday. If you have interacted on this blog post and watched all the way here, you're getting some SBI. So thanks for watching. Say hi to us in the comments, and I appreciate you guys watching on DTube. Toodles.